Welcome to Get Lit. I'm Kate.
And I'm Pat, and welcome to the Civic Center Library here at Scottsdale.
We're here to share our beautiful library with you, as well as some services, books, and more that we're really excited about.
And we think you will be too. So, come on in with us. Hello, and welcome to Get Lit, Books and More. Today we're starting out with the Civic Center Public Art Gallery, and today we have a new exhibit, and Wendy is joining us from Public Art, who is the creator of all the great exhibits that we have at the library. Wendy, what do we have today?
Right, yes, we've got, our new exhibition is called West Arizona Artists of Color. And what we are doing with this exhibition is expanding the concept of what Western art is and can be. This show reflects the wide variety of cultures that are in Arizona, in the Phoenix metropolitan area. And these artists are featuring their reflections on what it is like to be living in Arizona now. This piece right here is by Frank Ibarra, and it's called Pandemica. It is sort of based on Picasso's Guernica from 1937. Picasso was reflecting on the horrors of war. If you want to look that one up, it's Guernica. Frank Ibarra is really showing us his opinion about what is happening right now in this very pivotal time in history. Talking about the pandemic, Black Lives Matter, and women's rights, and it's really a powerful piece. One of my favorites. This piece here is called Little Boy Blue by Joe Willie Smith. Joe Willie Smith is my co-curator in this exhibition. He's an esteemed artist from Phoenix who really uses a lot of found objects in his work, and he does musical performances with some of the sculptures that he makes. But this piece is talking about his childhood in Milwaukee, when he used to go out to the White Rocks on Lake Michigan and sort of stare off into space and sort of meditate on life and the world. A really beautiful, beautiful piece. This watercolor by Sebastião Pereira from Phoenix is called Pensive. Really glowing, beautiful color, accurately placed, very vibrant and happy colors, but her expression on her face is telling us sort of a different story. Sebastião's family, his father wove bamboo baskets and his mother wove blankets, so he's very focused in on pattern and repetition in design. This piece by Hugo Medina, also from Phoenix, is called Bus in India. From 2019, it's an acrylic on canvas, and he travels all over the world, photographing people who maybe most people don't consider. These are workers, obviously going to work in a bus, and it's very poignant reflection on, you know, the state of life while you're trying to make a living and move on with every day. Here we have a trio of pieces by Safwat Salim. They are titled Concerned But Powerless, with individual numbers for them. He shows really a disconnect between the opportunities that America presents and sort of the prejudices that people who are not white can experience. And this one, the text that he's written on here says, driving home that evening, He thought about the electoral process, the government that didn't speak for him, the increasing sense of isolation he felt, and that last slice of pie in the fridge. Pie. Safwat is really good at bringing home a message, but also adding a little bit of humor in the piece that really helps you sort of understand that, you know, we all want to be happy and we all have a sense of humor, even though things might seem kind of grim. In addition to artists who are currently producing work in Arizona, we have pieces from historical figures of Arizona art, some who have passed and some who are still with us. These three pieces here are from a private collector. These individuals were part of a group called the Artists of the Black Community. This group was started by Eugene Grigsby and Rip Woods. They put together a group of artists and opportunities for Black artists to be able to show their work and have more opportunities to show us their voices.
Thank you so much, Pat and Wendy. Now let's go back with Terrence, who you remember from our last edition when he showed us 3 vital beginning strength training exercises. Today he's going to show us 2 more must-dos for your arsenal, as well as a couple of books available to you from our collection, which will teach you those exercises and many more for you to get fit in 2021.
Okay, the next exercise we're going to discuss is the bench press. The bench press strengthens the muscles of the chest or the pectoral muscles, the anterior deltoids or the front shoulders, the triceps. It is the upper body exercise that you can lift the most weight with, and therefore it is very important for developing upper body strength. The bench press is also frequently the most popular barbell exercise in the gym. To demonstrate the bench press, I'm going to get on the bench here. My feet are going to be positioned where the shins are parallel at about a width that's similar to the squat stance. I'm going to lay down on the bench then, and my eyes are going to be on the outward side of the bar. I'm going to grip the bar with a grip width that's about anywhere from 22 to 28 inches wide for my index fingers. For me, that means my pinkies are going to be on where these rings are. What this grip means is that when I actually push the bar off my press, I should be doing so with vertical forearms, just like we had with the press exercise. Before unracking the bar, I'm also going to pull my shoulders down slightly and retract my shoulder blades. That's going to give me a nice tight platform to drive the bar from, and it will allow me to arch my chest upwards slightly, which allows the bar to shorten the range of motion that it has to go to when it's being lifted from the chest up to the top of the lift. Once I pull the bar out over my chest, I will obviously take a big breath, hold it, and I will fix my gaze on a point on the ceiling. That is my reference point when I'm lifting the bar. I do not watch the bar move up and down. I look at the point on the ceiling. I will get my body very, very tight. That means everything has to be completely tight. My feet will drive into the floor while I'm lifting the bar, pushing the bar off my chest. And when I re-rack the bar, it's not going to go, when I'm pushing the bar up, it's not going to go completely straight in a line. It's going to go at a somewhat of a semi-diagonal movement towards these uprights here, and that's to prevent shoulder impingement. Now I have to state right off that this is a very poor bench to demonstrate this exercise on. The reason for that is these uprights here are too low. That means I'm going to be unracking this bar with bent elbows. In real life, in a real gym, you would never use a piece of equipment like this. Lifting a bar with bent elbows is a source of instability. So as soon as I move the bar up off these uprights, I'm going to actually have to push it straight up. So I'm bringing the bar out over my chest with locked elbows. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate this now. And also when I'm putting my grip on the bar, it's going to again be in the heel of my palm, not up towards the fingers. Common mistakes with the bench press are flaring the elbows outward when you're pushing the bar off your chest, bending your wrist while you're lifting the bar. Wrist should be straight throughout the movement, not keeping the feet firmly planted into the ground, not bringing the bar down in a controlled fashion, bringing it down too fast and bouncing it off your chest, and also taking the butt off the bench while you're lifting the weight, which makes this kind of a hip extension. The butt should always remain firmly on the bench when you're lifting the bar. Okay, the last exercise we're going to discuss is called the power clean. This is an Olympic lift, and it's the most technical of the 5 core barbell exercises in the starting strength program. The power clean cannot be done slowly, and it trains explosiveness. In the power clean, a lifter is required to pull a bar from the floor fast enough and high enough by using the power generated by his hips and his legs to catch the bar on his shoulders. Mark Ribito recommends learning the power clean from the top of the pull down. So it's divided into 3 phases: the hang phase, the racking phase, and the jumping phase. To get into the hang phase, you actually deadlift the bar from the floor, so you pull the bar up so that it's touching your thighs. The elbows are going to be straight and locked, and the knees are going to be locked. And the grip on the bar is going to be 1 hand width wider than that used for the deadlift. The racking phase actually means bringing the bar up onto the shoulders. In this phase, the arms are going to be held up, the elbows are pointing straight forward, and the bar is going to rest on the front shoulders, and it's the shoulders which support the weight, not the hands. The jumping phase means going back into the hang phase, unlocking the knees, pushing the butt back so that the bar rests at about mid-thigh level. In the jumping phase, it's always very important that the bar be in contact with the thighs whenever you get into this position. And then you will practice jumping to get the bar back up onto the shoulders. And when catching the bar from the jumping phase, it's always very important that it land on the shoulders and not in the hands. The jump is the key to doing this exercise and racking the bar correctly. The jump is what creates the momentum that gets the bar on top of the shoulders. The power clean is not an arms exercise. So once you become proficient at jumping with the bar and racking it on the shoulders, the next point is to add the pull from the floor. That means, as I mentioned earlier, you deadlift the bar up, get it into the jumping position, and then rack it on the shoulders. And I'm oversimplifying part of this. The book Starting Strength goes into much more detail, but the idea is to getting the bar pulled from the floor into the jumping position and racking it into one fluid, seamless movement. Now, common problems with the power clean are not keeping the bar in contact with the thighs when you're pulling it from the floor up to the jumping position, pulling the bar from the floor too quickly so you can't control the momentum of the bar, jumping too early so that the bar travels forward rather than going straight up, and bending the elbows when you're moving into the jumping phase of the movement. Okay, that concludes my discussion of the 5 primary barbell lifts used in the Starting Strength program. The chapter which follows those 5 lifts is a chapter on useful assistance exercises to do. Most of those assistance exercises are designed to make those 5 core lifts stronger. Getting a coach to help train you with these movements is a very smart thing to do, and you can go to the startingstrength.com website. There's a coach's directory to find a coach in your area that could assist you in learning these exercises. And also there's another book by Mark Ribito called Practical Programming for Strength Training, and that actually lays out a training program for different levels of strength development, starting off with the novice phase, where the goal is to gain strength on these 5 core exercises. And each workout session you get a little stronger than the previous session. At the intermediate phase, which means producing strength on a weekly basis, And then for the few people that get to the advanced phase, you're actually gaining new strength on a monthly basis. There's one other book I'd like to mention, Body Weight Strength Training Anatomy by Brett Contreras, another very famous person in the fitness industry. With this insane year that we've been through, gyms have been partially closed part of the year. They are not allowed to operate at full capacity, so some people have not been able to get to the gym. So this book here gives a wide list of body weight exercises that you can do at home if you don't have access to a gym and to a barbell.